अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय
नामाचार्य श्री हरदास ठाकुर की
जय
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की
जय
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन धाम की
जय
मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की
जय
नवदीप मायापुर धाम की
जय
गंगा माई की जय
जय
यमुना माई की जय
जय
भक्ति देवी की जय
जय
तुलसी महारानी की जय
जय
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय
जय
समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय
जय
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय
जय
भगवत गीता की जय
जय
निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे
हरि हरि बोल
all glories to assembled devotees
हरे कृष्णा
all glories to assembled devotees
हरे कृष्णा
all glories to assembled devotees
हरे कृष्णा
all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga all
हरे
glories to Srila Prabhupada all glories to Srila Gurudev
हरे
Hare Krishna. So we'll be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3rd, chapter number 16, and verse number 1st and 2nd. So the title of the chapter, as you just saw, the two doorkeepers of Vaikuntha, Jay and Vijay, cursed by the sages. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते
वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
So, text 1 ब्रह्मोवाच इति तद्ग्रन्थां तेषां मुनीनां योगधर्मिणां प्रतिनन्द्य जगादेदं विकुण्ठनीलयो विभु ब्रह्मोवाच इति तद्ग्रन्थां तेषां मुनीनां योगधर्मिणां प्रतिनन्द्य जगादेदं विकुण्ठनीलयो विभु ब्रह्मोवाच इति तद्ग्रन्थां तेषां मुनीनां योगधर्मिणां प्रतिनन्द्य जगादेदं विकुण्ठनीलयो विभु Hare Krishna. If any devotees would like to recite this verse.
ब्रह्मोवाच ब्रह्म उवाच इति तद्गृणतां तेषां मुनीनां योगधर्मिणां प्रतिनन्द्य जगदेदं वैकुण्ठनिलयो विभु
Hare Krishna. Any other devotees?
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Mataji.
ब्रह्मोवाच इति तद्गृह्णातां तेषां मुनीनां योगधर्मिणां प्रतिनन्दया जगादेदं विकुण्ठानिलयो विभुः हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna. Anyone else? Okay. So we'll move to the synonyms. Can you move the screen, Mataji? Synonyms. Brahma Vacha. Lord Brahma said, Iti, thus, Tat, speech, Granatam, praising, Tesham, of them, Muninam, those four sages, Yoga Dharminam, engaged in linking with the Supreme, Pratinandaya, after congratulating, Jagada, said, Idam, these words, Vikuntha Nilayaha, whose abode is bereft of anxiety, Vibhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation: Lord Brahma said, after thus congratulating the sages for the nice words, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose abode is in the kingdom of God, spoke as follows. Text 2. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Etau Etau Tau Parshadau Mahyam Jayo Vijayo Evacha Kadarthi Kritya Mam Yadvo Bahav Ak Bahav Akratam Atikramam. Shri Okay. Synonyms: Sri Bhagavan Vacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Etau, these two, Tau, they, Parshadau, attendants, Mahyam, of mine, Jayaha, named Jaya, Vijayaha, named Vijaya, Eva, certainly, Cha, and, Kadarthi Kritya, by ignoring, Mam, me, Yat, which, Vaha, against, you, Bahu, great, Akratam, have committed, Atikramam, offense. Translation: The personality of Godhead said, These attendants of mine, Jaya and Vijaya, by name, have committed a great offense against you because of ignoring me. Purport by Srila Prabhupada: To commit an offense at the feet of a devotee of the Lord is a great wrong. Even when living entities is promoted to Vaikuntha, there is still the chance that he may commit offenses. But the difference is that when one is in Vaikuntha planet, even if by chance one commits an offense, he is protected by the Lord. This is the remarkable fact in the dealings of the Lord and the servitor, as seen in the present incident concerning Jaya and Vijaya. The word atikramam used herein indicates that in offending a devotee one neglects the Supreme Lord Himself. By mistake, the doormen held the sages from entering Vaikuntha Loka, but because they were engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord, their annihilation was not expected by advanced devotees. The Lord's presence on the spot was very pleasing to the hearts of the devotees. The Lord understood that the trouble was due to his lotus feet not being seen by the sages, and therefore he wanted to please them by personally going there. The Lord is so merciful that even if there is some impediment for the devotee, he himself manages matter in such a way that devotee is not bereft of having audience at his lotus feet. There is a very good example in the life of Haridas Thakur. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was residing at Jagannath Puri, Haridas Thakur, who happened to be Mohammedan by birth, was Mohammedan by the birth, was with him. In Hindu temples, especially in those days, no one but a Hindu was allowed to enter. Although Haridas Thakur was the greatest of all Hindus in his behavior, he considered himself a Mohammedan and did not enter the temple. Lord Chaitanya could understand his humility, and since he did not go to see the temple, Lord Chaitanya himself, who is non-different from Jagannath, used to come and sit with Haridas Thakur daily. Here, in Srimad Bhagavatam, we also find the same behavior of the Lord. His devotees were prevented from seeing his lotus feet, but the Lord himself came to see them on the same came to see them on the same but the Lord himself came to see them on the same lotus feet for which they aspired. It is also significant that he was accompanied by the goddess of fortune. The goddess of fortune is not to be seen by ordinary persons, but the Lord was so kind that although the devotees did not aspire for such an honor, he appeared before them with the goddess of fortune. Hare Krishna. So, ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna everyone for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. So I seek blessing from all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis so that I can speak whatever I have learned from my seniors and from disciplic succession and from my spiritual master. So please bless me for that so that I can say something on this matter as it is without any alterations. हरे कृष्णा वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा. So we are covering this topic where we are reading this pastime of Jaya and Vijaya. And in the previous chapter, this is the starting of the new chapter. As we see, we are in the first verse of the 16th chapter, which title is that how the doorkeepers of Vaikuntha, Jaya and Vijay cursed by the sages. The curse already happened in the previous chapter. We have read like in 15th chapter um, the the four Kumaras already cursed the Jay and Vijay for stopping them to enter the seventh door and take the darshan of Lord Vishnu. But this title also is even though the curse already happened, but this chapter also entitled the same thing because the Lord is going to sanction the curse in this chapter. He is going to sanction only in this chapter. That's why that may be the reason why this chapter is named like that. So the first verse which we have read today is spoken by the demigods. Demigods are talking, saying to Lord, to demigods are talking to, no, Brahmaji is talking actually, sorry. Brahmaji is talking to demigods. Why Brahmaji is talking? Lord Brahma is talking to the sages, the demigods. Why? Because the demigods went to Lord Brahma because of the darkness that happened because of Diti having that pregnancy and having pregnancy which she conceived at wrong time. So they went to Brahmaji for this problem. Whenever demigods have a problem, they go to Brahmaji. We have seen in various pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam, and here also the demigods they go to Brahmaji and they explain their problem that they are not able to do any work. All their work is suspended. They are not able to do anything because of this situation. And what should they do now? So, in reply to that, Lord Brahma is narrating this pastime of Jaya and Vijay and the four Kumaras to the demigods. That's what we are reading. So, in the first verse, what we read is Lord Brahma is saying, after congratulating the sages for their nice words, because in the previous chapter, the sages, these demigods, uh, these uh, these four Kumaras also, they prayed. We see the four Kumaras prayed to the Lord. Uh, they glorified the Lord. So Brahmaji is saying here, after this congratulating the sages for their nice words, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose abode is in the kingdom of God, so spoke as follows. So when Lord appeared before the four Kumaras here, he congratulated them, the four sages. Why? For their prayers. Lord is very pleased with their prayers. They prayed in the previous chapter, and he is pleased with their prayers. So Lord Brahma said this to is telling this to the demigods, that now Lord is going to speak. The Lord Brahma is telling the demigods that the four Kumars offered the prayers to the Lord, and Lord is very pleased with them, and now he is going to speak to them, the four sages, the four Kumaras. So that is the context which is going on, and here we see that in the previous chapter we see the four Kumaras, they came to Vaikuntha. Although they were not initially they were not personalist, but they have heard from Brahmaji about the form of the Lord. They have heard from Brahmaji. So they got an inspiration to take the darshan of the Lord. And they visited there, they came to Vaikuntha, and when they came to Vaikuntha, they passed 6 doors. We have read that they passed 6 doors without any hindrance, without no one stopped them. They were just going without any impediment, just entering first door, second door, third door, fourth door, fifth door, and they passed 6 doors like that. And when they came to the seventh door, they saw two doorkeepers standing there of Vaikuntha. And they thought that as we have passed like the 6 doors, we will pass this door also. What's the problem? Nobody stopped us before. We just came. So who is going to stop us here? So they were just going to enter there. But all of a sudden, these two personalities, who are Jaya and Vijaya, the two doorkeepers of Vaikuntha, they are not ordinary personalities. They're standing at the gate of Vaikuntha, so we can understand they are not ordinary personalities. But somehow, they on that day, what happened? This incident we are just going to discuss. They stopped these four sages. Oh, how do they look? They're just, even though they're not that young, but they look like a 5-year-old boy, very small little boys, and naked. So he said, why are you going? Why are you entering there? You're not supposed to enter here. So they stopped them in a very wrong way. These two personalities, who? The doorkeepers. And when they were stopped, these sages, somehow, even though they were Brahmanas, but this anger, some little anger also came in them also. And when the anger came, what did they do? They cursed these two personalities, the doorkeepers of Vaikuntha. They cursed them. And what curse did they give? They curse that you are actually, they said, you are unfit to live in Vaikuntha. The words they are speaking is very, very, very strong words. These two doorkeepers are standing on the Vaikuntha, uh, and now they are saying that you are not eligible to stand here. You are not a good candidate, perfect candidate for to live in Vaikuntha. You should be punished to go to material world. You should stay there. So that is a very strong punishment. This is a very strong punishment, a very strong curse, that They are now said that you are not eligible to live here. And in the commentaries, we have like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions that even though yes, these doorkeepers committed a mistake, they stopped the four Kumaras, but the four Kumaras, what they said to doorkeepers is also not right. In what way? That are they greater than Lord himself, these Brahmanas, who are going to decide that whether these people should stay in Vaikuntha or not? By whose permission they are standing there? It's Lord. Lord has given them, Lord Vishnu has given them this duty, this task to guard the Vaikuntha Loka. And now these people, these four Kumaras, are saying like you are unfit to, you are not eligible to stay here. So the commentaries, the Acharya Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur mentions that even the Brahmanas, yes, the two doorkeepers committed a mistake. They stopped these people from taking darshan of the Lord, and this decision they took without even taking any permission from the Lord. That's why in the translation of the second verse, the translation mentions that they ignored me. These two doorkeepers of mine, attendants of mine, have committed this mistake by ignoring me. Lord is mentioning that okay, you are there, but at least if someone has come for a darshan, they should have asked or taken whether we should allow them or not. So they have committed mistake, but Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur mentions even the Brahmanas, even though it was like not a aparad, but they also did not do the right thing. Do they consider themselves more higher authority than Lord himself, so that they are saying that you are not eligible to live here, you are not you should go to the material world? So these Brahmanas also did a wrong thing. But these four Kumar, these gatekeepers, now we are going to the gatekeeper part, the Jai Vijay part. They committed a Vaishnava aparad. We call, Prabhupada mentions that even in the spiritual world, even though spiritual world, who can think that someone can do Vaishnava aparad or any offense in the spiritual world? If someone has this tendency to commit an offense, they cannot even be in spiritual world. But Prabhupada mentions, yes, living entity has a freedom. They can even do any offense in spiritual world. So yes, because we have a freedom, Prabhupada theoretical mentions, yes, anyone can do any offense, even in the spiritual world. But the thing is that in spiritual world, Lord is present and he take care of the devotee. And the first line of the purport mentions that how offense is a very offense to a Vaishnava is a very big wrong, big wrong. In scriptures we see we read various kind of offenses or aparad, various kinds, and we have read of we see there are offenses against the holy name, naam aparad. There are 10 offenses against the holy name, and there are offenses called seva aparad. When we do some service, devotional service, there some we sometimes some offenses occur. Yeah. Sorry, just a minute. Some offenses occurred like so we have to follow so many rules, like when we do deity worship we have to follow so many rules, regulative principle, purity, cleanliness, and devotees try to follow, but sometimes some offenses occur. So those are called seva aparad. Then there are called different, there is a different kind, one kind of offense called offenses to the holy place, which is called dham aparad. When offenses committed while in the holy place, like when we go to Vrindavan, we go to Mayapur, we go to Jagannath Puri, and then if you do some aparad offenses, they are called offenses to the holy place. What kind of offenses are those? Offenses to the holy place, Like if someone go to the holy place dham, Vrindavan, and sees, oh, this is the ordinary place, so much dirt is there, this is there, this is not a special place. Or when someone is disrespecting the residents of dham, that is also one of kind of dham aparadh, because people who are living in dham, they are not ordinary people. So consider these. So there are like many things which are covered in this category also. So there are nam aparadh, which are 10 in number, and then there is a seva aparadh, there is a dham aparadh. Then what we are discussing today is a Vaishnav aparadh. What we are discussing today is a Vaishnav aparadh, and Vaishnav aparadh, according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is like a mad elephant. It's like a mad elephant. Like the first line Prabhupada mentions, even though it's just one line, it's a very important thing for our progress in our devotional life. Very important thing. In one of the bhajan by Narottam Das Thakur, the bhajan is started as Eibar Karuna Karo Vaishnav Gosai. There's one line called, I think the third or fourth, it says, Hari sthane aparadhe tare hari naam, Toma sthane aparadhe nahi paritran. If someone commits any offense or any, if someone does naam aparadh or seva aparadh, what is the thing? If someone commits naam aparadh, chant more. Then if someone is doing like a seva and commits an offense, there are prayers we chant when the pujaris, they do service, they do deity service, they chant prayers afterward. Mantrahinam, kriyahinam, bhaktihinam, janardana. So we ask for forgiveness after. So there are many things we can do if we do these kind of offenses. Even though it's not encouraged to do, okay, we do and then we chant the prayer, we have to take full care not to do. But if by chance it happens, there are ways to recover. But if one commits an offense against a Vaishnava, a devotee, it is a very dangerous thing for our bhakti life. And we have seen many examples in scriptures. Sometimes we see devotees complaining, oh, we have been in Krishna consciousness, but we don't see progress happening. Still, the anarthas are not going away. This happens because of these offenses, especially the Vaishnava aparadh. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned it as a mad elephant offense. Why mad elephant? Because if there is a beautiful garden with lots of flowers, fruits, and things, and mad elephant enters there, what he does? He destroys everything. Everything. Same way, our heart, we have gotten this seed of bhakti from our spiritual master, from senior Vaishnavas, from Krishna, and we have to garden this seed. We have to flourish this seed by hearing, chanting, performing devotional service. But if we commit an offense to a Vaishnava, a devotee, this seed which we have gotten gets destroyed. It won't flourish. It won't flourish. And if we keep on committing, slowly it may dry up. It may dry up. So that's why it's mentioned that Chaitanya Prabhu mentioned we have to be very careful, very careful not to offend anyone. What to say devotee? Anyone, any living entity, because Lord as Paramatma is sitting in heart of every jiva. And we have seen in various examples that how Lord uh, doesn't tolerate the service of a devotee who's offending continuously. Lord doesn't tolerate. He can tolerate an offense to himself, but he won't tolerate an offense to his devotee. And one or two famous examples that I want to quote here is the example of Jagai and Madai when Madai hit Nityanand Prabhu Lord Chaitanya, who is non-different from Krishna himself, what he did, he took out his darshan chakra. He said, I cannot tolerate any this kind of activity against my Nityananda. I cannot tolerate it. Lord became so angry. This is one of the example. And another example is Amrish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni became angry at Amrish Maharaj for no reason. Just only he broke his fast by the drop of taking a drop of water. He became angry at Amrish Maharaj that how could you take it before feeding us? How could you do that? So that was not a reason for getting angry at a Vaishnava. That was not the reason. That's not a right reason, I would say. Not that was not a reason. That's not the. It's not like even for a small thing we are getting so angry. That's not a good behavior. So these were the few examples. So, but now I would like to discuss some examples. Like we say Vaishnava Aprad. Someone say, like, what is Vaishnava Aprad? What kind of activities we do that are called Aprad or Vaishnava Aprad? Someone may say, oh, I am very good. I am not doing any Vaishnava Aprad. But there is some activity listed in scriptures which says, okay, these are the six offenses to the devotees. If you do these things, you have to be careful. You should try not to do, or if you by chance you do, ask for forgiveness. First is to blaspheme a Vaishnava. Devotees are rendering service to the Lord. They're engaged in preaching and different kind of activities for spreading Krishna consciousness, and we blaspheme those devotees, say wrong about those devotees. That is one of the Vaishnava Aparadha. There can be many, I'm just listing few here. Then one is when we see a Vaishnava, uh, we should offer a obeisances to a Vaishnava, offer pranam. uh, all the Vaishnavas, senior Vaishnavas especially, but to all the Vaishnavas. But when we go to temple or any spiritual environment, we see so many Vaishnavas. So someone might think, oh, should we both say to everyone? Well, it's not practical to say to each and everyone. So at least in mind, we should offer vancha kalpatarubhishcha or offer pranam, or we enter the temple room. When we see all the Vaishnavas, we can offer combined to all Vaishnavas our obeisances, our pranam. So to not offer obeisance to Vaishnava is also a aparad. Then it is written that to feel not to feel happy when you see a Vaishnava. Yeah, we should feel happy when we see a devotee. We should feel happy. So by seeing a Vaishnava, if we are making our face, we are very sad or this, that's also not a good thing. To think ill of a Vaishnava, that's also a aparad. To think bad about a Vaishnava. To get angry on Vaishnava, that's also an offense. Like here we saw that Durvasa Muni got angry at Amrish Maharaj just for drinking drop of water. That also to break his Ekadashi fast, not for any sense gratification. Then to kill a Vaishnava, that's a very big offense to kill a Vaishnava. Other things are at least not physically, but this killing a Vaishnava is a very big offense. So we have to be very careful. If we want to progress, these are few, but we have to be very careful to protect ourselves from these offenses so that we can progress in our devotional life. If we want to go near to Krishna, we have to guard ourselves from all the offenses. Naam aprad, seva aprad, dham aprad. But very extra careful for against Vaishnava aprad. Very careful. So some examples we discussed from the scriptures, the Durvasa Muni, Jagai Madhai. So how we can, one point that I want to discuss is how we can avoid Vaishnava Aprad. How we can avoid it. So when we see a person, when we see a devotee, if we see that we have to think that every devotee is very dear to Krishna. Krishna says in so many places that devotees are very dear to my heart. So if we hurt that devotee, if we offend that devotee, we are offending Krishna. Yeah. If 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 we if there are family members, yeah, if there's a husband and a wife, if someone offends wife, husband also feel bad because, oh, you offended my wife. Or if the husband is offended, wife feels bad. If someone has kids, they are someone says bad to them, parents feel bad. So here Vaishnavas are very dear to Krishna, and if someone offends Vaishnava, actually indirectly they are offending Krishna, because their Vaishnavas are very very dear to Krishna. So if we keep this mentality in mind that, oh, they're these Vaishnavas, all the devotees are very dear to Krishna, and if I do this activity, if I think like this, or if I do like this, will it please Krishna? So we have to be very slow to judge, slow in reacting. We should not, like, just out of, like, here, these doorkeepers just reacted, no, you cannot enter here. We have to be very slow. We have to think of what we should do, whether this activity of mine, whether this act of mine will please Krishna, whether Krishna will be happy when I do this act. So we have to be very we have to think, then we have to act. We have to offer Vaishnavas pranam. When we offer pranam, automatically by offering, like when we offer pranam, we become humble. Humility comes. Humility comes. We cannot just fold hands and say wrong words. It's not. I don't. I feel that it's not possible. We are holding hands and offering pranam and saying wrong words. So if we have that kind of thing, uh, we have to be very in humble mood. We have to be in humble mood and offer pranam to all the Vaishnavas. And if by chance we offend, then we have to apologize quickly. That is needed. Yes, it happens sometimes. It's not that it won't happen. We try, but if it happens, then we have to apologize quickly uh, to the Vaishnava and to the Lord. That is the only way. That is the only way. We have to apologize. And one more thing, one last, not the last point, but what I think here is, we should stay in a good association. We should stay in the association of Vaishnavas who are not talking these kind of things, discussing bad about others or this kind of thing. We should not associate with those people, because when we associate with that this tendency of offending comes easily. So we have to try to keep in association of the Vaishnavas. All the Vaishnavas are good, but we have to be very careful. If uh, we see there's a see, sometimes if there's a discussion like that, we have to move away from those people, because we don't want to hear that. We are not offending those people also who are discussing, but we don't want to hear those kind of discussions, because when we hear, then we act also. We hear discussion about some devotees, or they this, then we act also. So we have to keep a good association. So because that will prevent us from doing Vaishnava aparadh. So if we commit, I just conclude recollecting the points. If we commit an offense, ask for forgiveness, chant the holy name sincerely, increase service, serve more, and one time it happened, then we should try not to repeat it. Yeah, one time Lord can forgive, okay, by mistake it happened. But if we are repeating same thing again and again, then it's not good. The Lord will, Krishna will also say, oh, this he's asking for, he or she is asking for forgiveness, but then same thing is being repeated again and again. Then what's the use of forgiveness? So that is also one of the point that I wanted to mention here. And there are some other points in the purport which I want to mention here in the purport that we read today from the second verse, that how Lord came on the scene when this curse happened, he came on the scene immediately with the Mother Lakshmi. And he says in the translation that these attendants of mine. So Lord is claiming Jay and Vijay to be his. They are my people. So that is a big statement actually. When when we are serving Lord, Lord is thinking these are my devotees. They are serving me. They are my devotees. And Lord protects his devotees in all circumstances. And here also we'll see later on the things will unfold. The I don't want to cover the later verses, but so many things will come up. How the Lord will talk to the four Kumaras and how he will talk to Jay and Vijay also. And Lord said here, these attendants of mine, Jay and Vijay, by name, their name is Jay and Vijay, have committed a great offense against you because of ignoring me. Ignoring me, that point we discussed. They just took this decision, the doorkeepers, do not enter, stop them. So they didn't even consult Lord. Don't, okay, let me ask whether these people have come for darshan, whether they should be allowed or not. No, they just stopped. Okay, you cannot enter here. So Lord says they have ignored me. So that also one of the thing is there. So we should be very careful in that regard. And the Lord, in the purport, Lord said that it said the Lord understood the trouble was due to his lotus feet not being seen by the sages. So these sages came to see the Lord. So that was the problem. Yeah? Problem in the sense that they were not allowed to see. They were not allowed to enter. So Lord himself came and gave darshan to them. That is the mercy of the Lord. If we desire, so this desire was there in these Kumaras to have darshan. So if we desire something uh, devotional, okay, is just I want to serve the Lord. I want to take darshan of the Lord. I want to go to temple. I want to attend this like a program, or I want to go to holy place, Mayapur, Vrindavan. If we keep desire, hmm, there might be some impediments in this material world which might create hindrance, but Lord himself will intervene and make those things available to us. Here also impediment came, they were stopped, but Lord himself appeared. Okay, I will give darshan. He came and appeared, not himself alone, he came with the Mother Lakshmi also. So we have to keep desire. If we want to progress, we have to keep desire. Oh, I want to chant more, I want to read more, I want to take, I want to serve Vaishnavas, I want to serve Krishna, I want to go to holy place, I want to go to dham. If we keep desire, sometimes oh it's not fulfilling, but Krishna, Lord will make sure, if the devotee is making a sincere desire, he will make arrangement to fulfill that desire, if it's a good desire. Good for his progress. So we have to make genuine desires, so that it will be fulfilled one day. And many of you might have practiced, might have experienced this in your personal lives also after becoming a devotee. I have experienced that like some years ago, like when I was in Krishna, I had some desires related to bhakti, and those were not fulfilled that time, but eventually they got fulfilled. And that was all Krishna's arrangement. So if we keep if we keep strong desire for our bhakti life, Krishna will help us. Krishna will make arrangement to, so that we can, our desire will be fulfilled. So that is one of our important takeaway also here. Keeping, we should not lose hope. Okay, sometimes we lose hope. Oh, I have this desire, it's not getting fulfilled, I want this, not materially, even spiritually. But we have to keep patience and keep doing our bhakti sincerely. Krishna will make arrangement and fulfill our bhakti desires also. It's just a matter of time. So that is also one of the point in the purport. And one example that Prabhupada mentioned here is of Haridas Thakur. How Haridas Thakur could not enter Jagannath temple because of being Muslim, because it's a custom there that non-Hindu people cannot enter. So he couldn't enter, so he used to stay away. So what did Lord Chaitanya do? Lord Chaitanya, who is Krishna himself, Lord Chaitanya is non different from Krishna. In one of the bhajan, it is said, Vasudev, that it is a Jaya Jaya Jagannath Shachira Nandan, and that's a bhajan. And in that bhajan, it's mentioned that Jai Gaur, Sei Krishna, Sei Jagannath. So we know all know that Krishna, Jagannath, and Gaura, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're all same, they're non different. So when Haridas Thakur could not enter Jagannath temple, Lord Chaitanya used to go there and sit with him, to give his darshan to him. So that's how the mercy of the Lord is. He will himself go in some form. He himself used to go. Here it is mentioned that although Haridas Thakur was the greatest of all Hindus, but he did not enter the temple. But Lord Chaitanya could understand his humility, and he himself, who is non different from Jagannath, used to come and sit with Haridas Thakur every single day and give him prasad also of Jagannath. So it's a very, we can see how merciful Lord is. It's just we need the desire, we need that sincerity, and the Lord will make all the arrangement for us. So these were the some points like that I took from these two verses. So in conclusion, like two points I want to mention here, just two takeaways that I would say: to protect our bhakti by not performing any offenses, especially Vaishnava aparadh, which is compared to a mad elephant. And second is to keep strong, to keep spiritual desires. If you want to have like chant more, read more, serve more, or visit holy place, keep those desires. Moment at that time they were, we can see, we might feel that oh, they are not getting fulfilled, but if we keep sincere desires and keep performing a bhakti sincerely, Lord makes all arrangements to fulfill those desires. So these are the two takeaways from these two verses which we read today. So thanks to all for your kind listening, and if any corrections or any questions, yeah, you may please go ahead. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much for a nice class. So I have one feeling, on 70s I was there at Puri, close to Puri Jagannath. I used to go there, and when we went there, we did parikrama inside the deities. So every day I am dreaming that.
Oh.
Will I have again? Will I have again that same kind of experience? So I pray God, Lord Jagannath, every day. I think I do parikrama in my own heart like that, the same thing. But I will see when I will get again chance.
Yeah,
When
you
I,
have that desire.
yeah, I
Krishna,
have the
yeah,
strong
you have
desire,
the
Mataji.
desire, and Krishna knows your desire. So
So
Krishna
I
will.
still feel that way, when I go there, I want to do parikrama inside the deities. Will I have the chance again in my lifetime? I don't know,
Mm,
but that is a very big desire I have.
yeah, yeah. So yes, it's a very good desire, and Krishna will make arrangement. We don't know how,
Yeah,
in this lifetime or when, we don't know, but Krishna has noted your desire.
70s, I had that experience.
Oh,
70s to 80 is a very long time ago.
long time ago.
A long time ago with my husband, I went there and I did parikrama inside the deities.
Mm-hmm.
That was very nice experience I had.
Yeah.
And we used to go every weekend. We used to go from Cuttack to Puri.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, somehow or other we used to go there. But now I'm too far from that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that and I'm too far from that. Will I have that in this darshan again? I don't know.
Nobody knows, only Krishna knows.
Only he knows.
Only Krishna knows.
My
But
desire is that.
but
My desire
but
is
by Prabhupada's mercy, we have Jagannath all over the world now.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
attend Jagannath.
in fact, Lord Jagannath is in our house,
Yeah, you have
Shobharadi's
Jagannath in your
house.
house.
I see
You go,
every day.
you go see Jagannath every day. You
Every
go
day.
to temple and have darshan of Jagannath every Sunday also.
Yeah, every Sunday.
Every Sunday. So yes,
And that's
we
how
should
I
be.
got mercy. But
Yes.
let me see if I can go to
So
Puri or
Jagannath said, "I'm in your home. Don't worry, I'm in your home. You feed me, you worship me. I'm with you all the time."
not.
So
So that's how I feel that.
yes.
Yeah, yes. And then again, we go to temple. We have to be very careful that Vaishnava Aparadha.
Mm-hmm.
And with the devotees, we have to be very careful.
Yes.
We are going to the temple and we are seeing the deities. Oh, I'm going to temple. Every time I'm just giving something also to the temple. That is not the enough.
Hmm.
We have to be very careful with the devotees, how we behave and how we do.
Yes. Yes.
Both, like, Jai Vijay and then there's four Kumaras. Both of them did the mistake
Yeah.
from both parties.
Hmm.
So, but both have come to a compromise that
Yeah.
they
We'll see
asked
later
pardon.
on the things will come, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I always feel. Thank you very much, Mataji. Very good call. Very nice
Hare
class.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Any other point anyone has?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
When you say about desire, and you had the desire and that would fulfill later, it didn't get fulfilled when you had desired.
I said it might happen. It's not fulfilled that time only. Like sometimes, but Krishna will make arrangement somehow.
Right, right. The same way, there are desires that I have had in my life in the past, and it got fulfilled later. But then so also beware of desire, making those desires. Sometimes you don't want, you don't know what you're asking for. And
Yes.
when it happens, it's like, oh, Krishna, why did I ask that?
Mm.
So also be careful of what you ask, because it might come not when you're asking for it, might come later when you probably didn't want it. So it's best not to even ask. That's what my dad taught me. He said, don't ask. He knows what you want. He'll
Yes.
give you. He'll give you. There is best not you ask, because what you ask probably is not best for you, and you will probably regret. So,
So when I was saying about the desires, I was talking about the spiritual desires.
okay.
I was not talking about the mundane desires or material desires. I
Hmm.
was talking if I want to chant more now and I'm not able to chant, I pray to Krishna, oh Krishna, I want to
Yeah,
chant more.
Right.
So
that's
I
true.
don't think so. Like if it comes later, it will be anything like that.
Yeah, no.
So
Spiritual desires is
yeah.
totally different.
So I'm just I was when I was talking of desires, I was talking about the spiritual desires, bhakti
Okay,
desires,
got
which
it.
can increase our bhakti. Yeah.
Yes, yes. That
So
makes sense. Yes.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Okay. So if there's nothing else, we can end for today. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining today.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
कृपासिन्धुभ्यो
Vaishnav.
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
हरे कृष्ण
वैष्णव वृंद की जय
Srila Prabhupada ki
की
jai.
जय.